Yeah,
Added 12B. Is that right?
added, yeah, the 12A on the new.
12A, yeah, 12A.
Okay, okay.
It's an executive session stuff. And there's no, the closure, on closing the meeting on this agenda.
There is on the one. Oh, no, there really isn't.
No, it's not.
Okay, I wonder if that page
Just
is just
opening, huh?
missing.
It was on either the earlier one or this one.
Number 13 is reconvene in open session,
Yeah.
but no closing, yeah. Okay.
Dr. Rivera, would you lead us in a prayer before we begin the meeting?
Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day of life you've given us today, and for the blessings that we continue to receive from you on a daily basis, and those that you have in store for us for the rest of our lives. But most of all, thank you for that unconditional love you have for us. We ask you to
Oh, okay.
bless this institution, faculty and staff, and be with us tonight so that when we make decisions, help us so that they be a benefit to our students, faculty, staff, the institution, and to our taxpayers. And we ask in Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
I now call the meeting to order. We will recognize our guests. Landa Faso-Shell, Derek Sandoval, Mark Underwood, Sarah Morales, Dave Gina,
Dale Gear.
what?
Dale Gear.
Dale, D-A-L-E,
Gear is the last name.
G-R-E.
G-E-A-R.
G-E-R. Lisa Ermis, Wade Carpenter, Ismael Martinez, and Margot Mata. Anybody I've missed? Our policeman.
He may be on the second page. Yeah, there you go.
Gilbert Bermea and Luis Fernandez. Welcome. Do we have any audience to patrons? Nothing? We have a consent agenda to dispense with the reading of the minutes. Has anybody got any corrections or additions to the minutes? We accept that as, we need a motion to accept the minutes?
I move.
Second?
You can do it all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Financial statement as of February 28th. Does anybody have any corrections or additions? Quarterly investment report. Any corrections to the quarterly investment report? Commencement schedule update. Do we have any information on that?
12th and 13th, and both ceremonies are in the evening.
7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
correct? Yes. Okay. Have we decided who's going to,
We have that later on in the agenda.
okay. So we accept those all as a consent agenda. We have a report from the Criminal Justice Department.
I think you have to have a motion to accept the consent.
Oh, we have to have a motion to accept the consent agenda. Do I hear a second?
You move. Victor moved to do the consent.
All in favor of accepting the consent agenda?
I'll second.
Any disagreements? Next, we have reports. We're going to have a report from the Criminal Justice Department.
Good evening, members of the board and staff. My name is Dale Gear. I'm the lead instructor for the Criminal Justice Department. Just briefly, my background, I'm a licensed attorney. I was a former assistant DA and also a probation department director for 10 years, including the operation of a substance abuse treatment facility. Started teaching here 9 years ago, and it doesn't seem like 9 years at all. It just seems like just a few years. And my wife said, well, are you going to do another 9 years? And well, I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted to update you on some of the things that we're doing. And with the department, one of the items we're going to teach a new course. We've got a new course offering for the fall. It's going to be ethics in criminal justice. And I think that's going to be a real benefit. It's going to be in the AAS, the Associate of Applied Sciences program. And we touch on ethics in our classes, but we don't really dig deep into it. And I just felt like we're not fully equipping our students to deal with those ethical dilemmas that they're going to face when they get out there in the real world and have to encounter these different issues. And so we decided to go ahead and add that course for the fall, and it's going to be taught from the perspective of not just the police, but also the courts, the judges, the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, the jurors, and also the corrections, parole, probation, and the juvenile justice system. And so I think that's going to be very beneficial to our AAS students to get that training in that particular class. So that's going to be new for the fall. And the format we're going to use, it's going to be an 8-week online class because all our classes are online at this point. And I think that's kind of a neat opportunity for students to be able to get an online degree in criminal justice. And so it will be online, and it'll be an 8-week class. This will be the first semester that we've used that 8-week format. And we're going to use it twice in the fall and also several times in the spring. The rest of our classes are just the regular 16-week format. So one of the big changes for us has been that the academy is going to convert from a 5-month program to a 10-month program. And you might be asking, well, how does that impact the criminal justice department? Well, it does because we have in our Associate of Applied Sciences degree plan, we have 2 options. We have the criminal justice option for those that are, don't plan to go to a 4-year college. They just want to be immersed in 45 hours of criminal justice courses as well as 15 hours of core and general education courses. And then we have that second option, which is the basic peace officer option, which allows students to enroll in the law enforcement academy in their last semester, and they're able to, provided they successfully complete the program, they're able to graduate with an AAS degree, a certificate from the academy, and their peace officer's license, which is a real plus. The difficulty is for our program was the academy offers 20 credit hours in that last semester. So our credit scheme for the criminal justice option had to mirror the basic peace officer option for 3 semesters, and then in that 4th semester we had 20 hours that students had to take, and so that was a little onerous for most students, and I think I always encourage them to kind of spread it out, maybe go to summer school and take some courses. But with the academy now going to a 10-month program, that's going to benefit them from a financial aid perspective, and also they're going to be able to maybe even have part-time jobs and certainly spend more time with their families. because the morning program's going to run from, I think, 8 to 1, and then if there's enough interest, they'll have an evening program, which is going to run from 5 to 10. So it's going to be beneficial to the academy, but we had to revise our degree plan to mirror their credit scheme. And so the first 2 semesters of the basic peace officer option and the criminal justice option will mirror each other. And then in that 3rd and 4th semester, students can enroll in the academy, and they'll take those academy courses 24 hours. And so that's going to be very beneficial, and it will also help us out too in terms of our students won't have that big 20-hour load in that last semester that they have to deal with. It'll be evened out a lot more. And so we're happy to see that change. And let me see if there was anything else. Got my extensive notes here. That's all I have.
Excuse me.
If there's any questions.
Would this be a step towards homeland security, or is it?
As far as a pathway to Homeland Security, from the idea that, yes, that students in both degree programs, whether it's field of study or the AAS, a lot of those students go into Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and also immigration.
And K-9?
Yeah, once they get into those organizations, they can be trained to be canine handlers.
Well, I mean, like, are they gonna be, I didn't really mean homeland security as much as just how we're having to beef up all the security on the campus and stuff, but like the school and that sort of thing, or not?
So I'm not quite, I don't quite follow you.
Okay, I'm just, okay. When they complete their law enforcement
Okay, you're talking about the cadets. Okay, yes.
after that,
Yes. Yes, so the cadets will, they'll have that basic peace officer license. And so they'll be free to apply for jobs with sheriff's departments, police departments, what other law enforcement agencies will hire them, DPS. The students that are in the criminal justice option, a lot of those students end up going to Border Patrol, immigration. And as far as our AAS, a lot of those students a number of those students are choosing to go to law schools, which I'm pretty proud of.
if you explain a little bit of like what the ethics that you're gonna add
Okay, so the ethical issues that
come up.
they face, as far as police go, the big issue is discretion. Okay, and how do they exercise that discretion? And we want them to have discretion, because if they don't, then they've got to arrest everybody. If there's any kind of violation of the law, then there's going to be an arrest. And then our courts are going to be overwhelmed because there's too many people having to be processed through the court system.
The time frame for the ethics portion of the course,
It's going to be an 8-week course.
8 weeks,
Yes, sir.
5 hours a day?
I wish it was 5 hours a day, but no, sir. It's going to be online.
Oh, okay.
They may feel like it's 5 hours a day, but it's going to be online.
When they finish their course, do they have to take some kind of an exam to prove their proficiency?
Yes, sir. As far as the ethics course is concerned, and all the courses, they're going to be tested throughout the course. And there's always going to be a final exam to make one final assessment of what they've learned.
To get a license to go to work?
Yes. Well, the license would be a Texas Peace Officer's license for the cadets. they would have to take that exam at the end of their 10-week or 10-month program.
Is there a percentage of these people that fail the exam, or is it pretty much?
I don't know what the percentage is. Do you know, Luis?
Yes, sir. So currently, we have about a 70% passing rate for Law Enforcement Academy. It used to be running about the 90%, but the state of Texas made a change to the curriculum. Was one of the things, and of course we had COVID that came in. But the other thing we started realizing is our students were taking those 24 hours, 20 hours in 4 months. So they were going from 8 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning to about 5 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. So just the learning was not conducive to memorize all that information, right, where it's being crammed. And then we realizing that the passing rate started to go down. So that's why we decided to go more into a 9-10 month program to extend that curriculum, be able to focus more on the different aspects of it. And that should translate to our passing rates also moving back up as well, because now they have a little more time to digest that information and only going 8 to 1 instead of that 7:30 to 5 o'clock. Because we know after 3 hours, our time's just like, I don't know what else we talked about after that 3 hours. So we're hoping this will help with that and bring our passing rates back up to where they were about the 90%.
And
Those
Mr.
students that don't pass the first time, do they get a second chance,
Yes, sir, they
third
should.
chance,
Yes, sir. They get 3 tries.
3 tries?
Yes, sir. Now, however, the state only counts it when they pass it on the first try. So even though we might have everybody pass it, but if they didn't pass it on the first try, we only get to claim who passed it on the first time. So if the rest pass it on try 2 or 3, that overall we had 100% pass rate because everybody passed. But when we have reports to the state, it's only what passed on the first attempt.
But almost everybody goes ahead and passes it on either the second or third try?
Yes, sir. We've had about, this last academy, we had about 3 or 4 only that didn't pass it after the third try. And all 3 re-enrolled again for the spring semester, so they're going to give it another attempt to get another 3 tries to do it as well.
So,
and that's the bad part, right? They don't pass it after 3 times, they got to go through the academy all over again.
And Mr. Field, I think, is going to present to y'all. He's a program coordinator for the academy, and I believe he's going to present to y'all in December.
Yes.
the students who retake, do they all wind up successful, or are they?
Some of them do, but some are just sometimes missing by a point or two. Sometimes it's heartbreaking because they come back and because 70 is a passing rate, and we've had some that just 69, they just can't get that 1 point, and it's start all over again and come to the academy again.
Those repeaters, do they eventually pass?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
it's just a matter of,
Yeah, it's just retaining that information and all that information they have to retain. And some of them, of course, as we know, some students just learn differently in different styles, and it just, some of the things are there. But that's what we're hoping to expanding into the 9-10 month program. That'll break down that information a bit better, and hopefully those first-time pass rates will go higher.
some of us are not good test takers, and some of us are good test takers, so.
Correct. True.
Some people come in with so much nervousness they can't
Yes, sir.
concentrate on
Yes, sir, correct.
the subject at hand. Any further questions? Anybody else we just ask? Well, thank you so much. We enjoyed that presentation. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can, the next is the president's report. We can wait until he gets here, or I can do it. Whatever you choose.
Do you want to do the president's report, or do you want to wait until he gets here?
I can do it.
Okay, let's go on with the president's report then.
Okay. So the president's report's in your packet. It doesn't have a number 6. Under maintenance, the modular building, which is where the Law Enforcement Academy is going to go, still pending electrical panels. Those should arrive, hopefully.
It was supposed to come this week.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting.
We're still waiting. Okay.
And it's already Thursday.
Okay. And then we're working right now on installing parking lights. Is that correct? Okay. The WIT building is close, and what you said yesterday was that we can start moving?
The WIT building is going through their punch list, both with REC, who's our contractor, and Kirk is walking with REC and the engineers and we're getting the punch list taken care of. At that time, we'll possess the building and start with our maintenance work. We will first work on floorboards, walls, we'll paint, we'll bring in the floor group, our custodial staff, work on the floors, make sure everything's ready. We have a plan to bring the migration back for a July 15th start. If we are earlier, we can get a chance to get in there maybe 1st of July, but that is the plan for an August 15th start. So we have mapped out our custodial team, we mapped out our maintenance team, we mapped out the move and what we need to get done to be ready for an August 15th start.
Okay. The Chittum upgrades, looks like the contracts have been negotiated and we were able to reduce some of the costs because both of those projects were done by the same contractor. And then the keys and locks, we're continuing to work on that, changing out locks on all the campuses, and then the next phase will be to put the card swipers on the exterior doors. And that project's moving forward. As far as the legislative stuff goes, so Dr. Gonzalez has continued to meet with legislators on the HB 1960, which is the Soros downward expansion. That's included two things down for the board resolution to state our opposition to that. The Community College Funding Bill, which is House Bill 8, was passed out of the House Higher Education Committee Tuesday, I believe. And then the full House will take it up in about 10 days. They're thinking around March 27th, I believe, that it'll be taken up. And then the Senate Higher Education convened today. That's actually what Dr. Gonzalez stuck around Austin for, was to hear that testimony. And he will have some updates for that when he gets back. The Senate side bill is 2539. So if you follow those, that's the number. Uvalde County Day at the Capitol was held last week on the 15th. He attended, and he's attached in your packets the legislative priorities that the Uvalde delegation advocated for on our behalf during that Uvalde Day at the Capitol. Chairman King is working to keep us whole if the 1960 passes, if the downward expansion passes. And then Dr. Gonzalez has been visiting with legislators, and he has the list there. Tracy King, Roland Gutierrez, the House Higher Education Committee Chair John Kemple, Senator Cesar Blanco, and Senator Pete Flores are some of the meetings that he's had. And there's probably more since he's been there again this week. Other things, we're working with Congressman Gonzalez, and actually this was submitted on Sunday. I submitted it to secure funding to expand our law enforcement training facilities with an active shooter training facility as well as a state-of-the-art outdoor firing range that allows for some tactical training that we have not previously been able to do. We submitted that request. It's a little over $3.5 million that we're asking for through appropriations through two different committees. Dr. Gonzalez made a presentation to the Middle Rio Grande Development Council right before spring break, and that's included here too. That presentation is there for you to see. And then last thing, well, maybe not last thing. We were notified actually last Tuesday during spring break of a pending award for one of the grants that we submitted last year. It's a Title V Developing Hispanic Serving Institutions grant. We submitted it last June. We weren't funded in the first funding cycle, but we were notified last Tuesday that we have a pending award that would start on October 1st of 2023. we're not allowed to make big announcements in the paper or anything yet, but it is a pending award, and it's about 2.6 million. And that's to provide mental health and basic needs services to students over 5 years. And then he's got a list of his upcoming meetings there. We had conversation with the students today. It went really well. It was a lot of fun. I got to pretend that I could shoot pool and play Jenga with with the students because I can't shoot pool. And it was a lot of fun. We had a good conversation with about 25 students. And then he's got the rest of his meetings listed there.
Those conversations with the students, I went with him one time to Eagle Pass and Del Rio. Those were very interesting
Yeah, they are.
to listen to the kids and see what they're concerned about. One of the things they were most concerned about was dining in the different campuses. Has anything happened?
Mr. Bermea? Eagle Pass?
Dining,
Uh-huh.
my information is that we're working with, what's the Great Western?
We're working, we have communications with an organization called Great Western Dining. We hosted them on their campus. They submitted a proposal, and we as a committee are currently reviewing that. Nothing is final. We also have option B, would be to probably go out for either an RFQ or at least an RFP, and try to see if we can find a vendor who would like to move into the Eagle Pass campus and house that little cafeteria area and sell to our students and staff. So those are our two options. No decision has been made.
We've been closed since right after the pandemic started.
Yeah.
There was no students who could not afford to keep the doors open. And, yeah, it's lacking for sure. But we're trying to find someone to run the place. The facility's great. It's got everything it's small, but it has everything. Kind of like a fast food restaurant would have. And everything is, I mean, it's 6, 7 years old. We're ready to go if we can find someone to operate it.
You just need to have the right person in there to run it. Okay. Next item on the agenda is consider and decide on who to present the degrees at the upcoming commencement. My suggestion is we get the new guy to do it.
The new guy?
Is the new guy willing? Do we need to appoint somebody to do it, or do we need to just wait until
We
he
need
can?
two, right?
You need two, yeah, one for each ceremony.
My agenda is have the same person do it both nights.
When the last time you did it, Tony?
Yeah, it was Mr. Lopez?
Yeah, I did that
Yeah,
last
and
year.
Anita,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did that last.
I remember they are both evening.
Both 7 o'clock evenings. I would encourage,
You have to talk.
I would encourage all board members to attend the graduation if you possibly can.
Yeah, we can, the diploma, all of it.
Yeah. The more of us that are there, the more people can give out the degrees. And it's also very important to do this. Should we elect or should we select somebody?
Yeah, we like.
Consider an act on appointment, yep.
So
Go up there.
what's the board's pleasure about conferring
Yeah,
degrees?
since they're not here. Select the two that are not here.
Do we elect the ones?
I go ahead and make a motion where we appoint Rogelio Munoz
And
and
Elena.
and Maria Elena Lara to confer.
That's kind of dirty.
Do we need to inform them that they're doing it?
You made a motion?
He made a motion, so you need
I already made a motion.
We need a second.
Yeah.
Or we can discuss this a little further?
Need a second?
Yep.
I'll second.
All in favor of
All right.
having
Aye.
the two absent members present the degrees? Anybody opposed? Should I then inform them that they're going to do the duty and let them choose which day they want to do it?
I think that's okay.
Okay.
2020.
The back.
On the back, on the back,
Turn it back, yeah.
the last
Yeah,
two.
I know, but
Oh, you're saying Elena,
like to,
And-
if we do her in 23, since she was here.
Should we decide who does which night, or do we let them decide on that?
No, we let administration decide who goes first.
okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
We can just inform them they're
They're the ones.
confer the degrees. All in favor of that plan, so signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yes?
Aye.
What are we voting on? I'm having trouble hearing. What?
Well, what-
Deciding who's going to be,
He's saying to let the administration decide who
Yeah.
will go on
Be
which
fine.
day.
yeah. Well, they can also decide on
Or they can
themselves.
decide,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that motion passed? Now we consider an act on a resolution in support of community college finance recommendations, House Bill 8. Do we have some information on that?
Yes, that's number 8 in your packet.
There's a resolution there.
Yes, sir.
All in favor of the resolution? I guess first we have to have a motion, right? To accept the resolution of support for the Texas Commission on Community College Finance recommendations. All in favor of the resolution? I guess we have to have
You have
a
to have a
motion
motion.
first.
We have a motion. We need a motion.
Who's
You
going
need
to
a
move?
motion?
Yes.
Okay. I move that we.
Okay.
accept-
Who's going to second it?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Okay. Next on the agenda is to consider an act on a resolution opposing downward expansion of Sol Ross University Rio Grande College, House Bill 1960. Is that,
That is number 9.
okay.
So that is, 1960 is the opposition to the downward expansion by Sol Ross.
Yes. I understand that Sol Ross wants to start teaching the first and second year courses that the junior college has always done. And they want to start doing that on this campus as well as the campus in Eagle Pass and Del Rio.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct? And we have a resolution here to oppose that downward expansion. Do I hear a motion to support the,
Dr. Watkins, I'd just like to make a comment that on the second paragraph, where it says that we built campuses in Eagle Pass, Del Rio, Crystal City, we need to include Uvalde in there, even though it's included further down, but, because we have built campuses here also. Just on that second paragraph, we can add Uvalde.
I don't know that we need to add Uvalde since this is the main campus. He's talking about the expansion.
But they're talking about the Sol Ross
Sol
building.
Ross.
We built that building for Sol Ross, so. I mean, that's fine
Yeah,
the way it
yeah.
is, but when we're building campuses, that's one of the main campuses we built.
I think that the way that reads is that it's,
think it's sort of a historical.
Right,
Sort of a chronological, I think, and so I think the emphasis there
Yeah.
is, we helped them get started in the 80s.
yes.
And then we built those campuses. And
Right.
The Valley one, y'all.
Added
of course,
those
is
in.
the most recent one, right? So I think, Mr. Rim, that's why it's down there later, it's kind of a chronological.
Yeah, later on it says about building facilities.
The
but
eval date, yeah.
So I don't think that we need to add on.
Then just leave it the way it is.
I think
That's
so.
fine. I'll make a motion that we approve this resolution.
Do I hear a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Go. Motion passed. Now we need to consider an act on a dual credit and early college, high school memorandum of understandings.
Those are number 10 in your packet.
That takes you a week to read it. But basically, they say that we're going to continue to use the dual credit and high school.
Dr. Underwood has some information about that. He can,
Y'all are used to seeing these. I know you haven't memorized them since last year, Dr. Watkins, but you're right, they're 95% the same as they were last year. We did include specific references to 4 state-level initiatives or focuses that come from the legislation and through the TEA on the relationship between colleges and dual credit. So we've alluded to those before, but Mr. Garabedian, who's our dean over the institutional partnerships, felt like it would be a really good idea to state those. And they're actually in an addendum at the back there, and then they are referenced periodically throughout each of the MOUs to emphasize to the schools that we know about those. They're not resolutions exactly. They're sort of goals and focus points that the TA has instructed ISDs to also have. So that's the only significant change at all. In fact, it's aside from some grammatical mistakes and rearranging some things, those are the same documents that you've seen before. Again, with the addition of those 4 specific focuses, you might say. Our goal is to have one document one of these days. Mr. Garabedian is insisting on that. We just couldn't get it done this time. We think he has a plan, though. We're going to have one for all of our dual credit relationships. We're trying. We've also got to look at the funding. Of course, if House Bill goes like it's supposed to, we're going to have a whole other funding model in there, so there will be some significant changes next time, we hope, right? So, yeah.
Does anybody have any other comments about the,
And the highlights, by the way, that you see, we include those highlights in the documents we actually send to the ISD so that they realize there's something new there that they might want to pay attention to.
do we need a motion to accept these?
Go ahead and make a motion that we'll go approve the dual credit and early college high school memorandum of understanding
Do I hear
as
a second?
presented.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a consider an act on approval of an offer for cybersecurity specialist program, basic level 1 certificate advanced and AAS.
it's number 11. Or Louise can talk about that.
Good afternoon.
Another 30 pages to read?
Just highlights. And just so you can have them for reference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. As you know, my name is Luis Fernandez. I'm the Business Industrial Technical Studies Division Chair. And I also happen to serve as the Title III Full Steam Ahead Project Director. And so one of the initiatives in our Title III grant was to the creation of a cybersecurity program. It was also a request from Dr. Gonzalez about 3 years ago, was kind of where cybersecurity started taking off heat. So a lot of it was, you know, the cost and how do we get it done, how do we get it launched. And so we've been able to go ahead and put a curriculum together, which is what I've given you in the packet. The first pages are how it's going to look in our catalog. The next one just breaks down how the different certificates will have a level 1 basic, a level 1 advanced, and an associate applied science degree in cybersecurity. The goal is that we also then end up adding a pathway that will lead into their bachelor's in cybersecurity with UTSA and or Texas A&M San Antonio. We did put together an advisory committee. We had a very good group of individuals that served on that committee, and we were able to get their blessing on this curriculum. This curriculum also, they did suggest that this curriculum does set us up that in 3 years we should be able to apply and get the NSA accreditation. So it would be an NSA accredited cybersecurity program, which is a national security agency, which would be great for the program because that makes us like we're legit. And so we also have had our curriculum committee. Curriculum committee has approved it. Dr. Underwood, we just finished a document for the SACS accreditation as well to add it as a new program. We got that done right before spring break, and that's been submitted. So the final piece to the puzzle is getting y'all's blessing and giving us the green light so we can submit our form to the coordinating board and get it officially on our menu of degrees that we offer. We're really excited about the program. Some of the certifications that are going to be coming out of there are the Network Plus certification, Security Plus certification, and A Plus certification. So there's 3 certifications that will be embedded within the program, which with our funding model will definitely help because the more what they call micro-credentials and different things they can get, the more funding we'll get as well. So this was purposely built that way to enable us to get the most bang for our buck as well, not just from the student's perspective, but from the completers that we're going to have. We were able to share this with our dual credit counselors yesterday. They were here for a workshop. We shared it with them, and they're really excited as well because in their CCMR points that they get funding for, some of these certifications, same certifications is what they get funding. So it's a win-win for everybody, and it's a big need for our area. If you notice, we also included the job outlook on there. I put, you know, kind of the median wages that they get, and I've also put that it's the last sheet is where it shows that it's part of our Middle Rio Grande on-demand occupations list, which means it's demand in this area. And the last thing, I also put the list of equipment that's going to be per lab. Now this program, we are planning to have it at our 3 main campuses, which is Eagle Pass, Del Rio, and here in Uvalde. And all that, the best part about it is we had the funding through the Title III grant to purchase all that equipment. So we were able to have that equipment for all 3. The equipment's been ordered. Of course, there's some 3-month, 4-month lead time because of all of the shipping issues, but we ordered it early enough so we can be able to start this fall, of course, with y'all's blessing as well, and of course, Zach saying that we're good with everything that we submitted. But I'll open it to any questions or anything you might have.
Where are we going to physically give the classes and all that?
So here in Uvalde, we'll be in Wagner 7. That's the classroom we've identified there. We currently have E200 and Eagle Pass that currently serves for our current CIS program, so we're just benefit to use that same classroom. And in Del Rio, we currently use B108, so there's no reason to have to get another classroom. We already have those that are being used for our CIS classes. So there should be no conflict because this will be a morning, 8 to about noon, 10 to about 12, and then some lab in the afternoon. And our CIS is in a different time, so we won't have any issues with that. And that's the other kind of good benefit is some of the equipment that we're getting for cybersecurity is also going to help beef up our current CIS program with some of the newer, because they can use it the same way because we offer networking classes, we offer different courses that are very double side, so it's going to help with that program as well to beef it up as well.
How large an enrollment do you expect?
So they had a expo out in Del Rio right before spring break, and some of the members that went out there did let me know that there were a lot of students that went there were saying they had a lot of interest in it because it's really a hot topic right now. It's just booming, and we're hoping that it's going to be well. So we're now that once we get y'all's blessing, then we can officially start out promoting it, right? Because we didn't want to get the cart before the horse, right? Go start promoting and then get denied. So we wanted to make sure that once it's approved, we'll start getting our recruitment campaigns out there, let people know about our cybersecurity. Like I said, we kind of already started yesterday with the dual credit counselors, so that way they know what's coming and start sending us people. I had an email this morning from one school district. They're like, can you send me more information on cybersecurity? So we just feel it's going to be a very popular program for our students.
I read that this median annual wage is $102,000?
Yes, sir. And of course, that's the state of Texas, so that includes your Houstons, your San Antonios. You're probably looking more about $50,000, $60,000 in this area. Actually, Dean Guzman and myself earlier were looking for just specific this area, and there's nothing yet because there really isn't a true cybersecurity specialist in there right now. Like the hospital, their main IT guy serves as the IT director, cybersecurity guy, and everything. So it's embedded. So this is kind of the very first being in this area of just a specific cybersecurity specialist. So hopefully we'll have some data on money-wise just from this area soon.
Do you anticipate the students graduating having problem getting jobs, or?
No, sir, because some of the advisory members we had is actually people from the local area. We had Blake Aker, who's the IT director there at UMH, and we had Mr. Frank Guerra that works out at Continental Tire. We had Wesley Sponsor, who was an ex-student of ours that works for Amazon and the cybersecurity side area. So they're excited, and they're like, hey, once you start getting people, let us know, and we can start placing them either at the hospital, through online with Amazon, with everything going cloud-based. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity for them to get some jobs somewhere.
Excellent.
Yes, sir. Any further questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we need a motion to
Yes, sir.
accept that offer?
I'll
Second.
second.
So we have a motion and a second to act on approving the offer of cybersecurity specialist program. All in favor?
All right.
All right.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Motion passed. Next, we have a consider personnel matters that will convene in closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Codes 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074, and 551.076 to consider consultation with the attorney, employment of faculty, employment-related matters, lease of real property, security devices. We will now close it to
35.
closed section at
for the 23-24 academic year.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of the motion to re-employ the employees? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passed. Any further business?
No, sir.
Then I guess we will consider a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Did all this?
Do I hear a second?
I blinked my eyes.
I'm sorry. I thought you were asleep. All in favor? Get up and leave.
Who's second?
Who's second?
Who's second?
Victor?
I second, yes.
We are therefore adjourned. I think in adjourning, we ought to consider one of our former employees who passed away this week, or this last week. Ms. Kingsbury was the librarian here for many, many years, so we should adjourn in memory of Ms. Kingsbury. Evelyn Kingsbury, she was a librarian here for probably 40 years.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Let's eat.
Oh, we did?
You're separate.